Touch a live wire with your bare hand, and the current finds you instantly. Touch the same wire wearing a rubber glove, and nothing happens at all. Same voltage, same wire, completely different outcome. Why? The answer lives not in the wire, not in the glove, but somewhere almost impossibly small, inside the atoms themselves. Everything you see is made of atoms, and every atom carries electrons orbiting its nucleus like a cloud of charged possibility. But here is the thing. Not all electrons are created equal. Some are free, some are prisoners. And that difference, that single fact about electron freedom, is what separates a conductor from an insulator. Let us start with copper, the metal inside almost every wire on Earth. Zoom into a copper wire, and you find a crystalline lattice of copper atoms, each one locked in place, vibrating gently with thermal energy. But the outermost electrons, the valence electrons, are barely attached. They belong to no single atom. They drift. They flow. They form what physicists call a sea of free electrons, a luminous, restless current waiting to be directed. When you apply a voltage, an electrical pressure, across that copper, the electron sea responds immediately. Every free electron feels the push and accelerates toward the positive end. That collective drift is electric current. Copper conducts because its electrons are already free to move. Now enter rubber. Zoom into a rubber molecule, and the picture is completely different. Here, electrons are locked in covalent bonds, shared tightly between pairs of atoms, held in place like two hands clasped together. There are no free electrons wandering the lattice. When you apply a voltage, the electrons feel the push, but they have nowhere to go. They are bound. The current cannot flow. Rubber insulates because its electrons are prisoners. But to truly understand why, we need to go one level deeper, into something called band theory. Every atom has discrete energy levels, specific rungs on a quantum ladder where electrons are allowed to exist. When billions of atoms pack together into a solid, those individual rungs merge and broaden into energy bands, wide ranges of allowed energy states. The quantum ladder becomes a quantum highway. In a conductor like copper, the highest occupied band is only half full. Electrons sitting in that band have a vast highway of empty states just above them, states they can accelerate into the instant a voltage is applied. The highway is open. Traffic flows. In an insulator like rubber or glass, the highest occupied band is completely full, every state taken. Above it sits the next available band, but it is separated by a forbidden gap, an energy range where no electron is allowed to exist. To conduct, an electron would have to leap across that gap. In rubber, the gap is enormous, roughly 9 electron volts wide. At room temperature, no electron has nearly enough energy to make that jump. The gap is a wall. The current stops. Now, here is where it gets strange. There is a third class of material, semiconductors, sitting right at the threshold. Silicon, the element that built the modern world, has a forbidden gap too, but it is narrow, just over 1 electron volt wide. At absolute zero, silicon is a perfect insulator, every electron frozen in place. But add a little heat, and a handful of electrons gain just enough energy to leap the gap. Thermal vibration becomes electrical possibility. Add light, and photons kick electrons across the gap. A single photon of the right energy strikes a bound electron and transfers its energy in 1 quantum instant. The electron jumps, the current flows. This is the solar cell. Add a single atom of phosphorus, a dopant, and you donate a free electron directly into the conduction band, no leap required. 1 foreign atom, 1 extra electron, and the semiconductor crosses the threshold into conductor. That is the transistor. A gate voltage either opens or closes the conduction channel in a sliver of doped silicon, switching current on or off. One transistor, one switch. And modern chips pack over 100 billion of them onto a surface the size of a fingernail. Over 100 billion transistors on a chip the size of a fingernail, each one switching at billions of cycles per second. The electron's quantum nature, harnessed. The forbidden gap, engineered. The invisible made into the engine of the modern world. And yet, even this picture has a surprise. Cool certain metals to near absolute zero, and electron resistance vanishes entirely, not reduced. Gone. Electrons pair up into quantum Cooper pairs and flow without any collision, any loss, any resistance at all. Superconductivity, the ultimate conductor, where the rules of normal conduction no longer apply. Zoom back out now. A city at night. Every lit screen, every glowing street lamp, every blinking router. All of it is electrons that were given a path, or denied one, by the geometry of their quantum energy bands. The wire conducts because the highway is open. The glove insulates because the wall is too high. And the chip in your pocket switches between the two 1 billion times per second because someone learned to build a door in the wall. The invisible machinery of reality, running at the speed of light, right beneath your fingertips. Every time you flip a switch, you are not just completing a circuit. You are opening a quantum highway, setting a sea of electrons free, and bending the fundamental rules of matter to your will. That is what electricity is. That is what it has always been.